in. Come on in. If you have yet like to subscribe to our page, please do so. It's greatly appreciated. Today we are going to make a heaven cake. Now, I don't know what other people may call this, but Grandma called it a heaven cake because she liked chocolate. And this is a chocolate cake with homemade chocolate frosting. So from the ground up, this is all from scratch. So it takes a lot of ingredients, but we're going to get it done. Now, we have 3 9-inch cake pans already oiled, floured, and we have parchment paper in the bottom. So we can do that step in the oven set at 350. This cake's going to cook for 30 to 40 minutes. It's a very moist and very rich cake. So let's get it started and we'll get these ingredients together. So here we go. In this bowl we have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. In that we need 3 teaspoons of baking soda, 1½ teaspoon of baking powder, and 1½ teaspoon of salt. Now I use pink Himalayan salt. So we're going to put all that in there. And we have 2 cups of sugar. I call it sugar. Y'all might call it something else. It's just the regular sugar, granulated or whatever. So there's 2 cups of that go in there. And this does require you to have hot coffee. Now, Mr. D and I both don't drink coffee. So we're having to do with, I got my coffee pot back here and I have some instant coffee. So I'm just going to make a cup and a half of instant coffee and call it a day because we don't drink coffee. You want to whisk these together. And what you're doing is making sure you don't have no clumps or lumps. Plus whisking it aerates the flour. Now as y'all know, well some of you might not, I store my flour. I buy it in bulk and I put it in 5-gallon buckets. And I have about 3 or 4 in my pantry. Well, I found out that you can store flour, and to keep the bugs and the eggs from happening in your flour, you put in some flour in the basement. Now y'all know down there I have 3 or 4 5-gallon buckets of flour because I buy it in bulk. And because I buy it in bulk, I store bay leaf in with it. Now, for every pound of flour or 2 pounds of flour, the old ways where you put 1 bay leaf. And that stops the bugs and stuff from getting into your flour or to grow in your flour because they can't stand the bay leaf. So in this here, I'm going to do my oil, which is 3/4 cup of oil. And I am using avocado oil. I know back then they probably didn't get it, but that's what I have on hand. I'm going to mix my 1 cup of brown sugar, and that is packed brown sugar, just in case you need it. And 4 eggs. I was supposed to add my sugar in over here, my white sugar, but I got ahead of myself, so I have to deal with it. Mistakes happen. And you want to add 1 egg at a time. I always look at my egg just to make sure it's good. I go slow. Sometimes even eggs from the grocery store come in and they're bad. So this is one way of making sure that your eggs, it's easier to crack it over here than it is to dump a whole thing, because you got either an eggshell in there or you got a a bad egg. My brain's not working, y'all, but it's normal. I got one brain cell and that thing's been on life support for years. It just codes a lot. Oh, I can't stand that messy. Okay. So I need 1.5 cup of coffee. Now, as y'all know, we don't drink coffee. I know, we're weird, but that's okay. So I have this Pikes Peak Instant Roast something Starbucks. We don't drink coffee. I know that sounds bad. People are probably going, what? You don't drink coffee? No. Unfortunately, we don't. So, I don't even know. Like, I know how my parents make coffee. But I don't know how other people make. Like, I can get up and make coffee for my mom or dad. But other people, I'm like, because my mom and dad like their coffee thick. And this is just another, this is organic coffee instant. So I'm taking a teaspoon from here and putting it in yonder. And yes, as I'm working in my kitchen, I'm moving stuff because I ain't got a lot of room. So this needs another 1/2 cup of coffee in it. Now don't skip this step because the coffee is what helps make it good. So they say, I don't know. Ew. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I don't even like the smell of coffee. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my hot coffee in over here. And I'm adding it slowly. Now as you make this, you are going to notice that this is not a thick mixture when it's done. I want to shake that. Now I'm adding 1.5 cups of buttermilk. So 1. And 1/2. I didn't measure out my ingredients. I'm sorry. This might be a little long of a video for some of y'all. That's okay. Now, I'm going to add this in slowly. So we're going to bring our flour and our sugar mixture over here. And we're just going to add her in there slowly. And while you do this, you can always just think about how lucky we are. And if y'all, today is August the 3rd, 2023. Now, if y'all go to Kroger's right now is having a sale on chicken thighs and chicken legs if you get the Tyson brand. And they are buy one, get 2 free. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I tell you what, I bought me 3 of each because I got a deep freezer. And the way the price is going up in this world, it's ridiculous. I only want that on low. But yeah, they're having a huge sale at Kroger's on meat. Now, see, I eat chicken, that's about it. And I don't eat much of that because it just, I don't know, it's not my cup of tea or coffee, if that makes sense. Because I don't like coffee. I family members that would be like, oh my God, the coffee shortage. That's okay. I do have some stockpiled in my basement, but we don't drink it. That's for my parents. So I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of coffee extract, and I make my own extracts. If you want to watch a video on that, in my past videos, it shows it shows that I put that too tight for one. Oh. So it's going to be 1.5 teaspoons, or 2 teaspoons of coffee extract. I guess if you don't have coffee extract, I guess you can use vanilla. I just never... I like it to be the way Grandma made it. And a little pinch extra. She always used to do that. Cracks me up. This and a little pinch. Now, I'm going to add 1 cup of cocoa, I think. 1 cup of cocoa powder. So I have a 1/2 cup measure, so we're going to do 2 of these. And I do use the Hershey's. And I use the dark chocolate. And to be honest, I'm not a chocolate cake fan either. I like a white cake or a strawberry cake. But Mr. D likes chocolate cake, so does Miss Gracie. This is mixing. So we're going to get that mixed a little bit quicker in there. And we will be right back. So I'm gonna wipe down my bowl. I couldn't find my whisk for my other beater. I don't know where it's at. I hope I didn't throw it away on accident. But I just want to make sure everything in there is blended real good. And as you can see, it's very wet. It's a very wet cake. And it's supposed to be wet. That's why they call it the heaven cake. I think. I don't know. So in this cake, you're going to want 3 pie or cake pans. These are 9-inch. And I oiled them and I put flour in them. Now I did put parchment paper on the bottom because I want to make sure they come out. So I'm going to mix these evenly. So I know each cake comes out the same exact size. I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to eyeball it because I'm weird, I know. Now I don't know if my video cut out or not, but we put those in the oven on 350. We're going to put them in there for about 30 to 40 minutes. And then we'll be back. Okay, we're going to start the frosting. Now, this frosting takes, let's see, 9 cups of powdered sugar, 2 cups of cocoa powder, 1 to 2 teaspoons of instant espresso powder, 3 sticks of butter, 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, and 1.5 teaspoons of coffee extract. I use coffee, y'all can use vanilla, that's it, and a pinch of salt. So in this over here, I'm going to go ahead and start my heavy whipping cream. Because as we know, your cream will come out better. Oh, I don't even have my bowl locked in there, y'all. There, now she's locked. So I don't know if there's a better view that y'all can get without seeing my big old mess back here. So I'm gonna make, so in my bowl here we have 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. To that I'm gonna add a pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of oh, what do you call it? It's not coffee, it's espresso powder. And 2 teaspoons of coffee extract. So I have, back here I have my butter. But my butter got a little too melted because my kitchen's only 103. So I'm going to slowly incorporate this powder, this into my container. And we're going to slowly do that just so it has time to get mixed in with the heavy cream. I am going to turn this on a little fast. Now, depending on your area, you might have to add a little more heavy whipping cream. It just depends on your area. And it depends on the weather. So, we're going to get that done. And then we will be back. It's coming together. Chocolate, chocolate. So, my frosting is done and the cakes are finished. They took 30 minutes in my oven to cook. So we're going to put them over here and we're going to dump them out onto some parchment paper with a cooling rack. They're still hot and I grab them with my hands. So we're just going to come down here. We're just going to take these and just dump them out. And they should come out that easy. There's 2. Now this is going to be a 3-layer cake. Now you do not have to make the whole cake at once. You can make the cakes, put them in the fridge with some saran wrap around them, and then wake up tomorrow and make your whole cake. Now this one's being a little stubborn, but that's okay. So that's what we're going to do. Now we'll come back and we are going to ice the cake, but this has to cool for about an hour and a half. Oh, I forgot to show you the icing. This is what the icing looks like. It's nice and thick. And my hands are clean, but I'm not tasting it. I'll let Derek taste it. Hi, and we're back. So the cake has cooled completely. So we're going to start frosting it. So as you see, I have my cake pan here. So this is a very, 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 very moist cake. So what I'm doing is I'm using a piping bag. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want frosting on every little piece. Let's just let that dump. Okay. Now the top. I'm going to try to get some of this out of the top. And don't worry, because this frosting made a lot of frosting. So don't worry about going over I just mainly want to make sure that it's going down the side. So I'm just going to take this and make sure that it's got enough to go over the side. You want to make sure it goes. Trying to keep it even as much as you can. As I said, I'm not a cake decorator, but I do enjoy having a cake that my husband will enjoy. This is his grandma's recipe. My cake looks like it's leaning. Leaning. Here's our cake finished. Oh, it still wiggles. So it is completely finished. Of course, I am not a cake baker. I'll be the first one to admit that. I am not a, what do they call it, bakery cake thingamajiggy.
Cake. Yay! Perfect. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you did so perfect.
You're such a smart aleck.
This cake, it has a really unique smell to it. It smells really good, and I can't put my finger on what it is. It might have to do with, like, it might have to do a little bit with, like you said, the part of the recipe called for hot. I think it was like a cup or half a cup of hot coffee.
Cup and a half.
Cup and a half of hot coffee.
And then the
it had to be
icing,
hot.
And then the icing called for 2 teaspoons of espresso.
Yeah, this is.
So this is the cake.
Grandma used to make it.
It's not pretty.
Looks good. It's called heaven cake.
Yeah, Grandma called it heaven's cake.
Yeah, and she would take it to. You said she would take it to.
Church functions, family dinners,
church functions, something.
Mm-hmm. This was her signature cake.
It smells really good.
Well, let's see what he thinks when he tastes it. It's sweet.
Yeah, that's not too. It's not killing me with too sweet. I mean, but it's really good though. I think I can taste like a little bit of that coffee in there. That's good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Well, you don't look like you're eating any.
Well, I mean, look at this right here.
I know, you're sexy. He's sexy, y'all. That's my sexy. He didn't get that because I can't cook.
Yep, that's good. Good recipe.
Well, y'all, there it is. He likes it. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Because the cake ain't pretty, but I'm not a baker. I've never worked in a bakery, and I never will.
Came out pretty good for a big old thick
Layer.
three-tier cake, and each
Yeah.
one of those layers is.
So here it is, the piece.
Yeah. Now, when next video when you see me and I look 10 pounds heavier, then you know why.
You're constipated.
Keep making all these awesome cakes and pastries and
Well,
stuff.
I wouldn't if your ancestors didn't tell me what to do. But this was one of her favorite cakes, and this was a staple that she did. She was always proud of this cake because it was her recipe. And I don't know if she got that from her mom or her grandmother, but chocolate on chocolate, I ain't gonna lie, that's not my favorite. But I will be sending some over to Miss Gracie, and I know Mr. D's not gonna eat it all, so I don't know if we're going to farm this weekend, but if we do, I'll take a bunch out to my daddy because he loves chocolate.
Yeah, he would love this.
But on that note, y'all have a great day. God bless. And always say your prayers. Even pray for your enemies. Be humble. And if someone pops in your head as you're praying, pray for that person because they probably need it. The Lord works in mysterious ways. But on that note, we're going to get off here. Until then,
We'll see you in the next one.
bye.